Hey guys, what's up? Queen K here. Welcome back to my channel. So this video is kind of random. I just feel like I'm in a talking kind of mood. I don't really know what I'm coming on here to say or to talk about, but I feel like it could be beneficial, I guess. I've been wanting to make a video about what it's like to kind of get up and go chase your dreams and why you should do it. And I know a lot of people obviously have things they want to do and things they want to achieve and things they feel like would make their life a lot more fulfilling. So I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit of background. Like, if you haven't been watching my videos for a long time, I just want to fill you guys in on who I am and what I do and what I like strive for, I guess. And hopefully we can talk about what you guys want out of life and we can work on it together, if that makes sense. So basically, growing up, I was always into arts. I was into dance, singing, and acting, and that was like my dream. Like at 13, I wanted to be a pop star. Like I was like, by 13, I will be a pop star. And I remember even making a bet with my best friend. I was like 13 years old. I was like 11. I was like, 13, watch, I'm gonna be famous. And I was like, she was like, okay, sure, whatever. And obviously, how well did that work out? But it doesn't even matter. That is totally fine with me. I'm glad that I didn't reach that sort of levels at that age, because that just would have been a mess, because we know what happens to child celebrities. But anyway, so that was always my dream. And then I got into dance, and I just loved dancing so much, and that was just a creative outlet for me. And of course, acting came into my life when I was about 12, when I watched my first play, and then I was like, wow, like this is amazing. This is everything that I want. And so I went home and I begged my parents to enroll me into acting classes, and eventually they did. We started with like a small little community acting kind of thing. I don't know, not community, but like just a random little kids acting class, and it was fun, it was cool. And then eventually I went on to look into it professionally, and I watched YouTube videos. That's when YouTube became a part of my life, actually. I used to come on YouTube to watch people do monologues, and it was weird. Back in the day, people used to do anything on YouTube. So I followed this girl named That Sophia Kid. She doesn't make the same kind of videos anymore, but she used to host like acting competitions and monologue contests and all this stuff, and I used to watch her, and I would even submit my monologues into her contest and hope that I would win, and I never did. But that was okay, because there were so many submissions and whatever. I only submitted once. So I used to watch her on YouTube and just be so inspired, and eventually I started taking drama classes at school and all this stuff, and I was just like, this is what I want to do. And so I was persistent with it, and my parents clearly knew that this was something that I enjoyed doing, because I was doing it for a long period of time. So when people ask me like, how did your parents like let you do all this stuff, I'm like, I showed interest when I was 12, and that interest continued year after year after year after year. So it wasn't like I woke up one day and I threw this huge idea at them and I was like, I need your help. It was something I had started years ago. So they knew and they saw that I was serious about it. And because they couldn't really help me in my pursuit, I did it by myself. So I would use when I was a minor, I would use my mom's email to email agents and like contact them and just try to get an agent so I could go out and do real acting jobs. And that's what I did. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, so basically I followed my choice all throughout high school, and then eventually I went to my parents and I was like, I want to go to school for acting, like university, post-secondary. There's nothing else I want to do. How can I go to school for acting? And in the very, very back of my mind, this was also a way to leave the city that I was from, to leave Canada and make it to LA or New York. And that was just a goal of mine. I was even planning on going to post-secondary, because I was like, I have dreams to fulfill. So I just need to get there. But then I realized, okay, so if I can get into a school there, then maybe I can go. So I threw this idea at my parents, and they were like, no. Because my mom didn't even want me to go to Toronto, which was like a 4-hour drive away. So let alone across the continent, you know? So I just I started pitching it when I was in like the 11th grade, and they kept saying, no, like, I don't think so, blah, blah, this might not work, it's expensive, And then I was like, okay, just let me audition for these schools, just let me try it. And eventually, I think my dad was very supportive of it. He was always very supportive, even when it came to driving me all the way to New York twice to audition for 2 different schools. He was supportive. He took me and he believed in me, and he was willing to pay for my tuition. So thank God for that. He was very, very supportive. My mom was a little scared, but she's a mother, so of course she's going to be the more nervous one. So they did all that for me, and eventually I did get into these schools. But before getting there, of course, there was a lot of ups and downs because I didn't get into my local arts high school where I lived, and I was very down, but I was like, it's okay. They just didn't realize my talent. Let me just keep going. So after I got to the end of high school, I was actually happy that I didn't go there anyways. And because I feel like my passion for theater grew more in the high school that I was in. When I did get into those schools, I was super, super, super ecstatic, and I think that's when my parents realized, okay, maybe she can do this. She was clearly accepted into both the schools she auditioned for, and it's not like it's a written application. You go in, you perform, and they tell you if they want you, and it is a very like select few that get into these schools. Okay, but yeah, so then I started to think, okay, then I guess I can do something, like maybe this is a possibility for me. And eventually I decided which school I wanted to go to. So originally I was gonna just go to New York and go to school there, but then I realized that LA was cheaper, so that was like, yes, like this is a way to pitch to my parents that I need to go to LA, because that was my actual dream home. And so I told them, I was like, LA is cheaper than New York. Like, do you really want me to spend like, what was it, like $1,500 on a shared room? And they were like, ooh, okay, that makes sense. So it was actually just better for me to go to LA just because it was cheaper. And so they agreed to that. And like, when I think back now, I'm like, I was 18, ready to leave my house and pursue my dreams with everything that I had. And I was like, you know, the younger you are, the more naive. I don't even want to say naive. Like, everything is just, it just sounds easy. It looks easy. You're like, I can do it. I'm not phased. And I try to bring myself back to those feelings nowadays, because I feel like as I'm getting older, I was in LA for 3 years, and then of course I'm not American, so eventually I had to come back or try to figure out how I could apply for a visa to stay, which is a lot of work. And unfortunately, in the time that I was there, I wasn't able to do that, which wasn't a bad thing for me, because I did want to come home and figure out how I could make it happen from here and go there, instead of trying so hard to get this visa for 3 years and then fail, and then getting it and then not having anything built from it. Like, I just wanted to start from a very stable place, and that stable place for me was starting as an actress in Canada. I wanted to be known as a Canadian actress, a Black Canadian actress. Like, I wanted that to be me. And so I was like, you know what, like, I would be fine with going back home, starting and building my way there. So I gave up the whole plan of trying to get a new visa, blah, 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 and I went back home. And I think to a lot of people, it was like, whoa, what happened, what happened? And I'm like, I actually just, like, this was something that I was interested in doing. So came back, and then now I decided to continue my studies in English, which doesn't make sense to many people, but there's a method to my madness. It all ties back in together to my end result. But I don't know, I feel like I'm just telling this story because I just, like, whatever it is that you want to do or whatever it is you want to achieve, it doesn't matter what anybody says, what anybody thinks, what anybody just decides to throw in, like throw in their 2 cents, be like, nah, take it back, don't need it. You can do that. Like, there's nothing that is really stopping you. And if there is something that is actually stopping you, whether it be money, parents, friends, a relationship, those are all things that are fixable. Like, those are all things that you can remove yourself out of. So it is completely, completely, completely up to you to do that. And I feel like I didn't start doing anything until I took full responsibility for my life and for the outcome of things. I feel like for a long time, I would say, like, oh, well, my parents aren't helping me with this, so so what? I do it myself. I don't have the money to do this, so I got a job. There's a lot of things. Obviously, I am still so blessed to have the family that I have, because they are so supportive. But even when it comes to, like, YouTube, for example, there's a lot of people who want to do YouTube and who have a passion for something, or who even want to do it as a career. Obviously, don't just do it for the money, because what are you going to come here and share? Like, what, you need a passion for something to to build off of. But if that's the case, you just need to do it and be passionate about it. And I feel like a lot of times I've just been very, very discouraged because things weren't going in the time frame that I wanted them to. But then I'm like I said, I wanted to be on top by 13. Like, that's ridiculous. But when I think back, I'm like, thank God I didn't do that, because then I would be here, but like, who knows where I'd be by now. And then I look back and I'm like, oh, well, thank God I didn't stay here, because who knows what would happen there. And I'm just in a place where I'm so happy with my present that I feel like that is what pushes me for more. I don't know how to, like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, if you are, I'm not comfortable, I'm not complacent, but I am happy with what I have now. I see the greatness in my present, and I see them as stepping stones to move up, if that makes sense. So when it comes to achieving certain things or following your dreams, just make sure you get right with what you have now. So don't just be like upset about what you don't have, who's not helping you, who's holding you back. Find out what you do have and try to work on the things that you can fix around you to make you completely happy with your surroundings, so then you can use that to push off of. If you have an unstable foundation, where are you going? If you're trying to get up here and your foundation is like wobbly, where are you going? You cannot use that to push off of. Like, you can't go up. So it is so important to like fix what you have now and then try to move up, you know? So if you are like working towards a goal and you feel really stuck and you feel like you can't reach what you want, like, take a second and look around you, you know? Take a second and think, like, do I have a stable foundation? Am I stable? Like, do I have the finances? Do I have the support? Do I have the knowledge? You need to have the knowledge on what you're trying to pursue. Do I have the like resources? You need to have connections. You need to network. There's a lot of things you need to think about now in order for you to move up. So I want this video to be more encouraging than it is like wake up call, you know? Like, I don't want it to be super discouraging, but I just want to tell you guys that things are closer than they seem, you know? So if you're focusing on what you have now and building that, but by the time you know it, you will be at that place where your now is where you've been waiting for, like where you were like praying about years ago or months ago. Like, keep focusing on building what you have around you, and you'll start realizing like you're moving up, and you're gonna be like, oh shoot, like, I'm already here. I was just praying about this 3 months ago, you know? So as long as you're trying to better your current situation, you will move forward, if that makes sense. So I don't know, I just feel like that's just been something I've been trying to remind myself of, instead of being discouraged that I'm not moving quick enough. But then I'm like, I'm moving because I see the progress. I see myself growing. But yeah, this is just a random rant that I wanted to go on, because I feel like a lot of times I can look at everything and be like, wow, girl, you really should be a lot further, or you failed here, or you aren't doing enough. And I'm like, wait a second, like, everything is in perfect timing. It's not up to me. It is not up to me. So I have found peace in God's timing, if that makes sense. Like, I have found peace in it, and I'm completely happy with everything the way it is, because I know that it is going to help me push up. This is what is going to help me move up. So if you guys are feeling discouraged and like everything you want just isn't coming quick enough, yeah, like I said, find the beauty in what you have now and figure out how to use that to go forward. So yeah, I hope this rant kind of made sense, and that it kind of tied together somehow, and you guys understand why I'm even telling this. I just want to throw out an encouraging video, and if you are trying to achieve anything, just go for it, work hard, and don't get discouraged. Obviously there will be times that get difficult, but don't feel like it's all just a waste of time. Just know what you want and don't forget it. Don't ever forget it, and keep going, because why not? Who else? If you don't do it, somebody else will, so you better do it. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please comment down below. Let me know what your goals are for the next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years. What are you guys up to? What are you doing? I'm so curious to know what other people are trying to achieve and what other people are trying to do. Like, what other amazing things, what have you done? Like, what amazing thing have you done? Like, let me know in the comments. I want this to be a place where we can encourage each other and talk about our successes, the times that we failed and moved forward, anything like that. So comment down below, tell me what you want to achieve in the next year, next 3 months, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is. Comment that down below and put it out there. Put it out there and let it manifest. You know, you always have to speak it into existence. So type it into existence in the comment box and let's talk about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys like this video, this random video. And yeah, comment down below again. Thumbs up this video because it helps a lot. Subscribe, of course. Turn on the notification button right there. Just turn it on so you don't miss any videos. And follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.